Under neon skies where the starlight hums. Shadows whisper truths as the bassline drums. Thy will is fire, unchained, untamed. No path is written, no soul is blamed. Thou hast no right but to do thy will. Feel the stars, let the silence fill your will. Unafraid, is alive, is still. Delivered from the lust of the thrill. Echo shattered glass where the circuits glow. The clock ticks slow, but it doesn't show. No purpose, no time, just a beat in sync. Perfect on the edge, on the brink. No chains, no bars, just a void to fill. Every pulse, every spark is a perfect will. Thou hast but to do thy will. Feel the surge, let the silence fill your will. What is right, is alive, is dead. Delivered from the lust of the thrill. In the endless dark where the echoes play, no other shall say nay, no other shall stay. Through the wires, through the smoke, let it all decay. The will remains forever unafraid. I walk alone where the silence hums. No shadows chase, no voices come. The air is still, it wraps me tight. No fear, no sin, no way to bear. The sweetness whispers everywhere. like passion wild, no losing through, like hatred piled. This body aches, a cage of stone, rest whispers soft, the only throne. Hunger's the beast, the sharpest sting, the body cries, its constant claim, but hard and hard to truly see, unawaits, it sets us free. Pain walks close, a shadowed friend. Each step we take, it will attend. But joy lies quiet, just out of view. A higher peak, a sky so blue. Feel the weight, feel it break. Every ache, every quake. Hunger's the beast, the sharpest sting, the body cries, its constant cling, but out and out to truly see, unawaits, it sets us free. No flame is fierce, no chain is tight. This body's war, this endless fight. But higher still, beyond the fray, rest calls my name, and I let us live, let us breathe, free as air. No hate, no chains, no despair. Among the shadows, we shine so bright. We carry peace into the night. Happily there, we'll rise again. No hatred, no pain, no regret. Happily there, let the light begin. Among the broken, By the mystical union of fairy and fawn, a dance in the shadows from dusk until dawn. Unspoken the whispers that drift through the trees. Unbroken the vow carried soft on the breeze. Oh, fiery Valkyrie, I invoke, through the flames and the embers, the spell is bespoke. Your arrows and slinging, the springs tender glow, a force wild and brilliant, a power I know. A secret communion of hearts left unsung. The listless, resistless, tumultuous tongue. Through veils of the morning, her armor does gleam. The warrior spirit ignites every dream. No godhead could charm her, no throne could command, but manhood awakened, she took up her stand. In brilliance resilient, her fire does burn, a goddess of spring, with the world left to turn. Fiery Valkyrie, I invoke, in the shadows from dusk until dawn. Unspoken whispers that drift through the trees. Unbroken the vow carried soft on the breeze. On fiery Valkyrie, I invoke, through the flames of the embers. hands tight, a silhouette carved in the shadow of night. The stars overhead burn cold and bright, but they can't touch the heat of that flame. By the rage of the lanes, I am bold. By the web of the fire, the sky and Shadows dance, they break the light, echoes hum, the stars ignite. I was yours, you were mine, a spell woven in the crimson skies, the hour bends, time unfolds, but never ends. Fingers trace the edge of fear. Your voice lingers, sharp and clear. I fight through the fight. I
there. So the next question is, well, what does Israel do? Israel tries to survive. Israel is not interested in being aggressive with its neighbors unless the neighbors attack them and vow to wipe them out. Some of the Muslim neighbors are insane, like say Hamas. They're self-destructive, or Iran. And some of Israel's neighbors are willing to make peace because they want to think of their own power and the future. And that includes the House of Saud, Bahrain, and United Arab Emirates. And what the idea is, this is Trump's brilliant idea, with Witkoff and Kushner, by the way, is to broaden the Abraham Accords and make peace from India. It's what happened before this war. Modi, the president of India, the prime minister, I'm not sure, was over in Israel making a nice deal.
He's obviously super biased. He fucking hates Muslims. He's a Hindu nationalist.
That's not the point. The point is that he wants to be on the side of Israel. Do you understand why? It's not because he hates Muslims, although of course he has problems with Pakistan. It's because we want the IMEC, the India Middle Eastern Economic Corridor. The whole idea is to make business and stop the fighting.
Dallas mayoral election is set for Tuesday, February 23rd, 2027.
People want to make business and make nice lives. America is a great example. When everybody is working together and making families and getting educated, making hospitals, everybody's life gets better. I can tell you, it's no secret that I'm a little older than you. I have watched a wave of abundance unparalleled in human history in the United States of America by simple things like just working and raising your kids and going to school and saving some money and investing in the stock market. That's what the Israelis do. That's what the Europeans do, although the Europeans
Our mayoral election is coming up Tuesday, February 23rd, 2027. I'm John Kitover, and I'm running as your Libertarian candidate for mayor.
You know we have
I believe in safer neighborhood taxes and a city.
America and Asia.
Sure, but I would say this. So the whole spiel I hear about, like, we want violence, we want to cooperate. I see that as like submit to Israel or
want
else.
non-violence or we want violence? What are you talking about?
Yes, Israel will use violence and
Future.
because of shit. Europeans have done this. Every country has done this. Yes. So, in order to have peace, it's submit to the will of Israel.
No, that's not necessary. What's the will of Israel to survive? What are you talking about?
To be the hegemonic power, and I mean,
Not necessary. All they have to do is not bother us. That's all they have to do. Look at how tiny Israel is. Look at how big the countries are around it. They have all the oil.
They have the biggest goddamn government in the country, or excuse me, the biggest country in the world that it basically is backing them up. So
yes.
Yeah, they have big aspirations because of that.
Pepe, we're the world's policemen.
That's because that's God's chosen people, God's chosen land, Pepe. Get on the fucking bandwagon. Otherwise, you're going to be panned. No. God is. Israel.
The Arabs are the ones with all the oil, the free money, not Israel. I mean, look at how much. Do you realize that this is a practice run for Asia? If you don't like the United States helping Israel, wait till we go and defend Taiwan. Do you realize that we have thousands of troops in Japan defending them from China?
He doesn't have. It's just the Jews. It's all China. It's just the Jews.
I never said no. You're so full of shit. I never said Jews. First of all,
I'm not saying.
When I talk about,
react to that.
No, I know.
You have to react to that.
Sure, but if I'm talking about, yeah, I get it. But when I'm talking about Netanyahu in particular, one particular leader in Israel who's a very polarizing figure in Israel. Then we can look at Trump, a very polarizing figure in America. They largely see eye to eye. And do I think that do I think that they have the best judgment? Absolutely fucking not.
Do I think you have the best judgment? Absolutely fucking not. So who cares what you say?
Pepe, do you understand that Japan and Germany were allowed to have arms until very recently? And you understand why? Because of what they did in World War II. So who was there to defend them, you may have noticed? Japan. Who do you think is supposed to protect them? It's us.
Yeah, we're supposed to, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. And the same thing with Europe. Who do you think is defending them against Russia? Again, it's us. And our troops are there, and that's what NATO is all about. So it's not as if Israel is the only one of our allies. And somebody said before, I think very astutely, that that's what NATO is all about. So if Russia attacked Poland tomorrow, what would we do? We'd have boots on the ground. So
sure.
This is what Israel is.
Sure, but if it wasn't Trump, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
If Netanyahu was not president, right? He's not
Prime
the president.
Minister, yeah.
Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And Trump was not the president.
Yeah.
I have zero. I don't think we would go to war with Iran whatsoever.
Okay, makes sense to me.
But
what's the point?
Yeah, so I think that they with their ideology, they're both willing to fight a war that they think will primarily benefit Israel using our military.
The whole world.
I don't think so.
You're not thinking globally.
I hate the IRGC. I don't like anybody they're aligned with, like Russia or China.
The memo. You haven't gotten the memo.
Yeah, you shouldn't eat it when you're,
You haven't gotten the memo, Pepe, that the IRGC wants to kill you and me. For the same reason, because we're not like them. And by the way, they want to kill Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, and Kuwait. Why do you think they're attacking all those countries? They're attacking civilian targets there. Just before I came into this room, I saw the desalinization plant in Saudi. If they hit the desalinization plant in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi, those people have no water. And by the way, if we hit their dams in Tehran, the Persian people have no water. So they're teetering on the brink of a dramatic humanitarian crisis. And we've already seen the Arabs, with no intervention by Israel at all, slaughter each other by 1 million at a time. You forget that before we got involved, Saddam Hussein was in a war with Iran. These people are out there to kill each other. And our role, in order to keep the oil flowing and the world economy circulating along, is to keep them from killing each other. And that's what we're doing.
So retarded
the way you say it.
yeah, that's how you pronounce it, with all due respect.
It's a tiny little country, by the way, smaller than Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an island kingdom.
Norm, the last time I was in the UAE, it was, the people were very nice. I won't say who I had dinner with, but he was a very nice guy.
I'm John Kitover, the John Kitover
I'm
News
not
Network,
gonna
breaking
say.
news.
But yeah, like what's happening in I don't know why. With all due respect to Pepe, like why are you so combative when it comes to the people that fight?
No, I've never said anything about them. I said the way you say Bahrain is kind of like
Pepe doesn't want Americans
That's how you
to
pronounce
die.
it.
Pepe doesn't want Americans to die, correct, Pepe?
Yeah, I don't want us to be taken advantage of or to die.
Pepe, like gone to the head.
I don't want us to die or be taken advantage of. Like,
okay, and what does that mean, taken advantage of?
It basically serving, getting entangled in wars that are more to the benefit of whether it can be people that are quote unquote elites or which and when I say elites, I'm not fucking Jews. Trump's an elite; he's not a Jew. Or
okay, so why do you think we went to Gulf War I? Do you remember? Didn't we talk about this the other night? Do you remember Gulf War I?
Can I say
they invaded Kuwait.
Right. Now, were you against that war?
No, but I think didn't Saddam Hussein he took people hostage. He took Americans hostage.
No, that wasn't it. What he did was he took over Kuwait.
Our state deserves leadership that respects your freedom and focuses on safe streets, reliable service, and responsible spending. The election
and so we went in there to get on it. We were against that war. I wasn't against the war. I mean, yes, it seems like it's all about money and oil, but that's the way the world works.
I wasn't against that. I wasn't against that.
Well, Israel helps out behind the scenes, of course. Israel is not the world's premier intelligence, but
why did they get their hands dirty?
Put Israeli troops on the ground. They're like, holy shit. That would complicate things so much. They're so much more hated than.
And by the way,
everybody else.
Saddam was sending Scuds, if you remember. That was the birth of CNN.
As the mayoral election is coming up,
Pepe, was wondering why they had never fought alongside us in those 4 wars?
Oh, no. What I was saying is that, okay, people like Mark were saying how they are our greatest allies and that in World War III they'd be our greatest allies. And my point was is that that's never been seen. That's conjecture. There's nobody you can. I see America supporting Israel. I don't see them fighting in a war outside of us, on our side. But if you were to look at like particularly the Anglosphere countries, yes, like our big, what we're often, especially in the beginning, our biggest enemy. They're absolutely our.
Do you think that Trump would do anything that's not in his own interest.
I mean, this is where we get to the crux of the issue.
Okay.
Into wars to fight on the behalf of people of his cronies that will make him, his I guess social life happy or maybe build his legacy.
Why does he need Witkoff and Kushner? He could get rid of him.
Well, Kushner is his son-in-law.
Yeah, but what does he need him involved in politics for? He doesn't need him. He could just tell Kushner, go stay home with Ivanka. Go do real estate or something.
Because he's a Jew, that's why.
And Trump
I didn't say that.
Trump is not. So
well, okay, kind of like what Dr. Jordan is saying is that I think this is where Trump's shortcomings in his judgment end up kind of like they can hurt people. And hold on.
Well, I don't think it's there. Let me just state that I don't think that's a reflection of his shortcomings. It's not his problem. It's, I think, the American jury's problem. But that's
why is it?
Yeah, and they need another place. That's the problem.
What is the problem? I don't see the problem.
Okay, Jesus Christ, Norm. Okay, you keep on doing this, but I think like you can overtalk us and you can try to steer the conversation, which I like you as a person, but okay, but I get it. I get it. I'm not the one muting you, by the way, but what? I hate it when I have a really hard time.
If you do this, I'll just go. I don't need. I'm not getting paid here.
No, don't do that. No.
No, then fucking leave. Either stop interrupting or leave.
I'm not interrupting. We're having a conversation.
Yes, you are. You don't
No, I'm showing you how to think.
No, you're interrupting. No, you interrupt.
Interrupting.
You interrupt. No. Why don't I interrupt?
No.
You're fucking rude.
So I want to say this. Hold on. Before don't.
Pepe and I know each other a long ass time.
Yeah. So hold on. Before nobody needs to get kicked. Now
I don't care.
We can look at Jews in the United. God damn it! Did he get kicked?
No, he's in the audience.
What behooves? I don't understand what behaves it. Standpoint at every conversation, millennial or the elder boomers, it's every one of them. We have to give an inquisitive perspective of ours so you can think. I don't understand where that comes from. What is this entitlement that boomers do?
That's what they have.
But this is the weird thing, is that I'm young enough or old enough to remember, excuse me, that during like the Iraq War and the war in Afghanistan, Zionists that were gung-ho about, those wars in the Middle East. Now, we can even look on this fucking app, okay? I would see Jews, they ban each other from each other's rooms, they mute each other, they call each other horrible names. They're not a fucking monolith, okay? Just like us, if there's no Jew in the room, okay, we absolutely attack and slander each other, shit like Donald Trump. They can make a recipe from hell, absolutely, and that's I think that's kind of what we're seeing. I mean, these are people who I'll just speak on Donald Trump. Like, I think he cares about his legacy and whatever flattery that he'll get whenever he makes a decision. I don't think he really cares about us genuinely. He's such a narcissistic piece of shit that I just, I don't know. Why even think that deeply into it?
Well, I wanted to hear what Norm, because I defer often to Norm. My take on the Witkoff and Kushner thing is, one, Kushner is too close to Trump. It's really care. It's the undercurrent of anti-Semitism again by this strong affiliation of de facto diplomats negotiating instead of public officials who have been appointed, like the Secretary of State, and it makes there's a quiet there's an undertone of elitism that is going to, I think, bite us in the back, and I think that's, like I keep saying, and I'm like a broken record, but I think that's far more problematic than Netanyahu or Trump, because statesmen have always leveraged these bilateral relationships. You can go back into history and find all kinds of things that might leave some people unsettled, but by and large, it's the optics that are concerning regarding these two kind of unofficial these unofficial designees, and they may actually be doing a great. Like, I have no idea if they're doing a great job. Obviously, they've done something. Maybe they do a better job than people who have been trained at Georgetown's foreign policy school. But I think it's looking bad. The optics are bad, and that's the thing that is going to be a problem long term. But what the hell do I know? I'm just sitting here trying to fucking type an article.
Yeah. Optics. I think that, like, I'm not somebody who wants to scapegoat Jews or, really, I've listened to so many retards over the last few years trying to do this shit, and it's.
I think the fact that we're, like, even a talking point. I really want us to all go back to a fucking hole and shut the fuck up and do our little squirrely things and, like, just, like, that's it. Like, just be the quirky Jew in the fucking corner, the ones that go down to Florida, be kind of this.
Yeah, but Michael, no Jews, no news. Look at this room. Look at all these rooms. No Jews, no news.
It's fucking, like, annoying, man. Now it's.
I would say one of the biggest problems, though, is that, like, holy shit, where do I get started? Like, you have people like Rabbi Shmuley. No offense, but.
You could toss him to the fucking wolves, man. Toss that man. Fire. Like, fuck that. He's no representation for fucking Jews at all.
Are you kidding me? A lot of people look up to Rabbi Shmuley B'Teach, and he's got a huge social media following. Who the fuck are you compared to Rabbi Shmuley, Michael? Who the fuck are you?
So if you were to look at, like, even, like, Jonathan Greenblatt, who I think is an absolute fucking faggot,
He's getting paid for his shit, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but right-wing Jews have always hated him, like, for years.
Yeah, he's doing his job, and I think it's...
Mountain Man. 75, 61, 26. Creating a new Sora account. Do you have a Sora account yet? I'm running for the mayor of Chicago, so I'm building a whole new build out. But it's going to be very easy this time to spam myself for mayor of Chicago because I have so many pre-existing accounts that I'm going to be able to take over the spectrum in Chicago.
Oh, bro. Oh, my God. Don't you hate it when you...
61,
I ate a five-layer burrito, 5-layer bean burrito from Taco Bell, and I'm like miles away from my house, dude. And it's like, it's bad. I gotta get home.
Do you have any JICs in the glove compartment box?
No.
Do you know what a JIC is?
What is that?
Just in case.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, no, dude. I mean, you can fucking get arrested around here. I mean, I'm sure there's a place you can do it, but I'm just gonna rush home.
Gross, bro.
One of them things, dude. So what's going on?
I'm sitting here creating Sora videos, listening to Pepe talk endlessly.
Pepe is so fucking retarded, dude. I don't get it. I mean, he has some intelligent takes, but this is why I'm certain the Lord blesses those that bless Israel. Turn against Israel. I mean, Pepe is hopeless, bro. And I sense a little bit of gaydar in his. My gaydar senses fucking pop off with them. With his fucking feminine voice and stuff. But anyway, whatever. But just an idiot, dude. Every time he's just like, it's Israel. It's only Israel. I'm like, what about China? And he just doesn't.
Fuck.
Or he just like glitches out. Like, fuck with China. It doesn't matter. It's not. It's Israel. Like, dude, what the are you? I know you're not this fucking stupid. You know what I mean?
He just does it intentionally. He's got nothing else in his life to keep him entertained. This is actually his entertainment. Like,
he can sense he knows better than that, right?
This is what gets his rocks off, dude. This is what he's got going on for himself, and it's, dude, he doesn't even publish it. So I just don't understand. Like, he's not getting anything from this. Nothing. It's just purely. I mean, I've heard him like make suicidal statements. I've heard him make homicidal statements. I've heard him make sexual assault statements. The guy is, intentionally just trying to spike his dopamine by making controversial, profane statements. And he's just it's immature, dude. I mean, he's got a chance at nothing. I don't think it's projection. At least I know I got a chance, a little chance, but like, what is Pepe doing? It's just, at least call it the Pepe Comedy Club, and like drop it here and there, but do a build up. Like, that's the whole thing, is like the build up to the punchline. He's got no build up. It's just shock.
Well, he's also repetitive. Since I met the fucker, he's been saying the same shit. It's just he has more fire now, more ammunition now, because we're attacking Iran right now. But it's just whatever, dude. I don't get these people that supposedly are on the right, because that's what I sensed from Pepe, that he was on the right when I got on this app. But
yeah, dude, he claims that he used to hang out in neo-Nazi spaces on Discord and other places, and he drops the K word.
Neo-Nazis would sense that gayness in his voice right away.
Well, dude, there are some. There are neo-Nazis on X Spaces. I went into a room and they're like,
I've been on there.
They're like, who let this fucking Joe in here? I'll kick you in an oven, bitch. Die. Like.
They said that to you?
Yeah, because I went in there and they say that none of them should be Christians and that they should all be pagans, or not even that. I don't even know what the fuck. I couldn't quite understand what the position was, but anyways, I just tried to convince them that is the perfect formula, and if you don't get it, it's because you're stupid. And they were.
Dude, I tried talking to those morons. I love it how a lot of them they're British, and they're talking about trying to start out. Because what was crazy is I wanted to get their angle too. And so right away they asked me, where are your parents from? Where are you from? And I was just like, and it's actually true, but I was like, Germany and England, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, you're cool. Okay, you're cool. I was like, okay. And then I thought maybe they would be intelligent, but they were all talking about how we need to have a socialist system, how Nazism was actually just fine. Because it wasn't a big deal. And I was like, I said, so me being on the right, I'm against big government, and socialism is the enemy. They're like, no. As long as he's white, it'll be fine. That's what they were saying. I'm like, what? Like, you guys are fucking retarded. They're like, yeah, we're gonna start a new system in Texas or Kentucky, and we're gonna start our own communities, white only. And like a bunch of these retards were British too. And I'm like, wait a minute. You British assholes have lost your country, over fucking run by immigrants, lost your guns. You're gonna sit here and try to fucking lecture us or try to talk about how you're gonna fucking start some system? I was like, you guys are a joke, man. You know, and they hated me too, because I told them straight up. I said, you guys are fucking retarded. I said, just because the guy's the same skin color as you doesn't fucking make it to where it's okay for a giant bloated socialist government. Like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. You guys are acting like the black community. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, well, you are. Like, the black community believes that as long as they're our best interest. Like, you guys are fucking retarded, man. So
I told them, I was like, you guys sound like a bunch of N-words. You guys just keep talking about white people, black people, white people. I was like, you're just all a bunch of N-words because
bunch of fucking retards.
This is what N-words do all day. They sit here and they talk about white people. Like, I've never had a conversation with what we call a white person about white people. Like, ever. You know, I don't even think about it, but it's not just that. It's really, but I did hear somebody once say there's no such thing as N-words. There's only African. And so the whole spin on African American is that something distinct from African. They're not. And same thing with white. We are not white. We are either German or we are an Italian or we are a like, so the whole racial identity politic conversation in itself is just a waste of time and stupid.
It's so fucking stupid. And you're right. They sit there and complain, and they say the same thing to black communities. We're gonna start our own system and overthrow this shit. And I'm like, you guys, that's retarded. Like, that's not gonna. You're never gonna accomplish that. Just like the week that I tried to hang out there. Oh, it'll work. Trust me. You just start with small steps, man. Like, I'm like, you guys are talking just like Clubhouse, who sit here and it feels good. You're never gonna do shit. You're gonna sit there and complain and have some fairy tale, but you guys are fucking retards. And then they were threatening to like kill me and shit too. You know what I mean? After they had kicked me down, they were threatening. They were like, yeah, people like that need to be killed and stuff too. I was like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, you retards are never gonna get fucking past first base. But
Pepe loves to talk about neo-Nazi accelerationists or like satanic Nazi death cults that do like mind programming to get you to commit suicide. Like, talk about horrific things, like stuff that is terrifying. And I've heard him say like he wants to, can I rape that person? Can I go kill that? Like, really fucked up shit where it's like if that's what is actually coming out of your brain, like, you are actually probably like a dangerous person, like, there's a reason why I never want to meet people from this app. Like, the app is the reason why.
No, I agree.
I'm glad I get to talk to you through the app, and I hope to never meet you in the real world.
Right. Yeah, no, one person I would never meet in real life, even though I do like him, is Doc. I feel like Doc would be liable to kill you.
Yeah, that he calls me like he wants to call and speak through my phone into a Clubhouse room. I'm not your gateway or your bridge. If you want to come on Clubhouse, you gotta come on here and talk on here. I'm not gonna take your call. If you want to talk to me, you know where to find me. But I'm not gonna play that game. The problem
is that he keeps on saying shit and getting himself banned, so he has to start a new account.
Yeah, he can't take it anymore. He's exhausted with it.
He is?
Yeah.
What's he?
Heck yeah, Dave. You need to get a new burner number, like.
Well, what he's got to do is not threaten. That's pretty simple. I mean, listen, I've done that shit in the past too, even though I don't mean it, but it's not a good idea. And now,
you think?
No, it's, yeah, of course. But the newest update literally just made clear, and I clarified it on ChatGPT, that the app has transcripts that it can print out. If you make threats, it will print that shit out if they need to, and you can get a case brought against you.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to mention, it's just, with the karma points, and it's not a good practice to threaten people, but I haven't been kicked. I have not been, what do you call it, removed from the app or clipped, man, for like a year. I just started you can still wild out and stuff and still have debates and stuff. You just can't go too far and say certain shit. It's not terribly hard.
Well, some people
you get clipped because I don't know why were you getting clipped so much, because of the recordings or what?
Yeah, people mass reporting me for knowing that I'm like live streaming them onto Instagram and YouTube, but it's like nobody looks at it. I'm just like living in people's living in their brains, and they're just like, I can't believe this guy motherfucker, I didn't give him permission to record me, fuck him.
I think that John Kittleman is dangerous. I've heard people say that, dude.
Yeah, I heard this one girl, she's like, he believes in what he's saying so much that, like, if somebody's gonna do something, I think he's gonna do it. And I'm like, bitch, yeah. I'm not a violent person, and, like, if you're gonna project your shit onto me, fuck you. Like, I'm here to rebuff what you're saying. Go fuck yourself, bitch. And well, it's just my opinion, John. Oh, okay. Well, thanks so much for your opinion. Appreciate it.
I've had people say, man, they need to watch you. Like, I'm gonna hear about you on the news one day. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, have you ever, it's like I told her, I was like, have you ever heard me make a death threat? Have you ever heard me act violent? You know, no, but you're just like so intense. I'm like, okay, so why would you come on here and slander me and gossip about me that way, huh? And she's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, I don't know. You're retarded. We figured it out. You're helping me by trying to fuck with me and by, you know, me, right? I guess. Never mind. I don't even know who it is, like, who said that to me one day, but, man, when I was running and fucking, what's-his-face, you know, it's so funny, it's like, you would think that maybe people could come here to work together, you know, to actually put some stuff out, you know, content, etc., in an organized, systematic, professional manner. Nope. You get people attacking you with death threats, you know, slander. Dr. Adams and others on here, you know, went crazy against it. Nobody helped me with my campaign for Congress. I mean, they only helped me in the sense that they were providing a fake opposition for me to, like, create content with. But nobody actually said, John, I want to help you. People gave me their money. I did raise $600. I talked to other congressional candidates. They couldn't raise $100. You know, my little $600 is a lot better than other people, you know. So I'm just saying that this app could be used for transformational purposes, but nope, that's impossible because of human behavior, and that's just the way life is. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. If you have an intuition, you got to follow it. Follow your intuition, you know, use them as, like, you know, maybe a starter, but, like, ultimately you are 100% responsible for your decisions. And I've just always found that, like, doing work in silence continually is, like, what has always made me money, you know, the publishing industry. So nobody's ever helped me, though. People have only just basically tried to, like, use me as, like, a way to gather intelligence or compare themselves. Like, it's my opinion.
A place for rappers, and it was a fucking hood app, bro. It still kind of is, to be honest.
Oh, it's a ghetto app.
It's a ghetto fucking app, dude.
It's a gang. I heard what's his face call it a gangbanger app. I was like, that's true. It is a gangbanger.
It is, and it sucks, man. Like, when 90% of the rooms are just ghetto fucking nonsense, so then you have to go to a place like Chillism or fucking Talking Apes. Sucks, dude.
That's like one step above ghetto.
It is. It just fucking sucks, you know. And Day has, you know, 5'4",
booger eater,
greasy, 140 Mexican who people don't even remember his name in high school, but he runs a clubhouse, so it's just it kind of sucks, you know. He's an atheist, hey. It's the best we got, though, bro. It's like the best because there's not much conversation rooms. Other than that, it's a fucking ghetto room, dude.
Well,
what do you do?
Man, sometimes you can hear gold in those ghetto rooms. Like you hear shit like when a black guy wants to act hard and tough and like super righteous, etc. Like you can hear some funny shit. Like where they,
I do, bro.
yeah,
Fucking smoke detectors beeping like it's fucking McDonald's up in that.
yeah.
Bitch, beep, 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 beep. It's crazy, bro.
It's crazy.
Isn't it the truth, though? I mean, fuck.
It's crazy, but that's the thing. It's like I hate them. I don't hate them. I wish there was a way that we could like turn this thing into some type of a community honeypot, where everybody was able to draw from the well. But I do appreciate the fact that like right now I have 15 cell phones recording 4 different clubhouse rooms, and it doesn't cost me anything to do that. And the thing is, like, it's people really talking, and it's proprietary, and it's all on YouTube. And basically, like, I'm running for the mayor of Chicago, so I'm gonna print up these little different congressional candidate, 2 different congressional candidate boards, but the visual medium, like what I'm filming, how I'm filming it, how do I do it at scale? How do I do it artistically? How do I put forward the best image possible so I can attract the greatest possible number of views and create stickiness when somebody comes across my live stream?
Well, that's cool. That's cool, bro. Well, I've been doing some extra work on the side. I've been door dashing, and tomorrow's the first day back sprinkler teching. But I worked late doing early tomorrow for my actual real man.
Okay, God bless. Take care.
Like, if you were to poll your country, would you say pro-Trump, anti-Trump?
Anti-Trump. But a lot of people are pro-Trump.
In your country?
Yeah, the majority are like retards who like are obsessed with like pretty much putting themselves down and like giving our money to the rest of the world and shit. So yeah, majority of people are going to be anti-Trump, and then there's a huge population that is pro-Trump.
So you guys are mostly socialists, so I'm guessing pick for this last presidential election, like you say, the majority of your country, who do they want?
Kamala, Kamala spent some time in Montreal when she grew so she's well known in some sort of, Canadian circles, and all that like women shit, and I think she just did a speech like tour in Toronto or something like that. But yeah, it was definitely Kamala.
Very interesting. What would you say your country makes fun of U.S. citizens the most for?
Probably just being too like rowdy, like rootin', tootin', shooting, gun smoking, drinking, Big Mac, supersized fries, fucking Ford F-150, 2579.
دو سال پیش رفتن این اتفاق نمیفته، یعنی اون اکثریت به دلیلی که ساختار اجتماعی از بین رفته نمیتونن اعمال قدرت بکنن، به دلیلی که اون تشکل‌ها، سازوکارهایی که در واقع جامعه رو در درجه اول میسازه، این سیستم اجتماعی در درجه اول میسازه و بعد در اون سیستم اجتماعی خب به هر حال جامعه میتونه اعمال قدرت و اعمال خاص خودش رو بکنه. اینها به دلیلی که این ساختار اجتماعی از بین رفته، اصلا خود انقلاب که اتفاق میفته همین هست، یعنی اکثریت حالا گفته میشه که اکثریت خب انقلاب کردن، ولی خب سال 56 اکثریت راضی بودن از اوضاع. میتونید یعنی یک سال قبل از انقلاب شما فضای باز سیاسی که اعلام میکنید در تلویزیون میدیدن که من دیدم ویدیوهاش رو، نماینده ها و خیلیشون هم آدمایی بودن که خب فرصت طلب بودن موقع. این به اون میتاخت که نمیدونم چقدر فساد هست، یکی میگفتش که من اگه حرف بزنم من گفتم سرمو زیر آب میکنن، شما ویدیوشو چه ببینید، همین الان هست بشه یوتیوب. تازه باز که اعلام میشه لازم به مردم، وارد مردم شد چقدر یه حدی با فساد در مملکت هست و به خاطر که اون سیستم اجتماعی نبود، یک اکثریت به اصطلاح پراکنده در برابرشون یک اقلیت متشکل که مذهبی ها بودن، ایدئولوژی مذهبی، ایدئولوژی مارکسیستی، ایدئولوژی های به حال قاطی که بین اینها شکل گرفت، اینها رو با هم متحد کرد در برابر اکثریت متفرق. خب اینها اومدن قدرت گرفتن، این چیز طبیعی هست. الان هم همینطور هست. متأسفانه بعد از 50 سال این اکثریت هنوز به دلیلی که اون ساختار اجتماعی بین رفته نتونسته که خواست خودش رو نمیتونه جمع بشه. حالا اینکه یک سری اتفاقات داره میفته، چیزایی ما میشنویم، خب ممکنه خوب باشه، حالا آینده میتونه به ما بگه که اینها میتونن موثر باشن. خیلی موقع به اصطلاح یک حرکت‌هایی صورت گرفته و جمهوری اسلامی نابود کردیم به تدریج یا بلافاصله. این که اینها بتونن اونقدر قوی بشن که جمهوری اسلامی رو بر بیاندازن یه بحث درازی هست، ولی شرایط کنونی ما حالا شاید بعد برگردیم شرایط استقلالیه دیگه. من تو اتاقا که میرم استثنا میشتم که مثلا بخواد بحثی بشه که فردا پس فردا هفته بعد 2 هفته بعد که یه ماه بعد که این حملات تموم شد مردم چه کار باید بکنن؟ یعنی برای این حکومت رو قرار هستش که حداقل گفته میشه که مردم ایران باید براندازی بکنن. خب برخواد پلن چی هست؟ طرح چی هست؟ برخواد این حملاتی که داره میشه، خب حالا 1-2 هفته اول خب خیلی کشته شدن مثلا نظام و اینها، ولی مسئله اینه که دیگه اینها که یعنی امریکا میتونه یک ما بزنه، ولی یه پاسکاری که دوبار که نمیتونه بزنه، یه 3 بار که نمیتونه بزنه که. یعنی میخوام بگم اون هدفهای جنگی یه هدف مشخص و محدودی که حالا شما فرض بگیرید 10,000 تا 20,000 تا باشن، اون سپاهی بسیجی که دیگه میدونید در مقر سپاه که دیگه نیستش، که در کلانتری و در مقر بسیج که نیستن که، اینا همه پخش شدن جاهای مختلفن و هستن، اصلا هم دستشون هست. 1 ماه بعد یعنی میخوام بگم دیگه نمیتونه بزنه، میتونه ساختمون ها رو بزنه، ساختمون ها که خالی هست دیگه حالا، ولی مسئله اینه که 1 ماه بعد به هر حال هنوز ممکنه چند 10,000 چند 100,000 از اینها باشن که اصلا هم به دست دارن. حالا چطور ما میتونیم که مدیریت بکنیم 1 ماه بعد که این حملات به هر حال قرار تموم بشه که بتونیم براندازی بکنیم؟ یه چیزی که بتونیش که مثلا در فلان وبسایتی که فرضاً ما اونجا نمایان هست که فلان هواپیما از کجا بلند شد، کجا رفت، نمیدونم این رادارش رو خاموش کرد، فلان کرد، صبح حمله میکنه، بعد از اون حمله میکنه، فردا حمله میکنه. یعنی ما الان 3 ماه بود که در واقع داشتیم صحبت میکردیم که حمله میکنه، ولی حمله کرده، صحبت میکنیم کجا رو زد، کی رو زد، و این لحظاتی که در واقع سرنوشت ساز هست. من به قول ترامپ یک فرصت هست برای جنریشنز. خب این فرصتی که ما الان داریم بتونیم فکر بکنیم، برنامه‌ریزی بکنیم، میتونیم مخالفت کنیم همه رو به شاهزاده و تیمشون، ولی مسئله اینه که ما هم باید کمک بکنیم دیگه. یعنی باید یه سری حداقل ایده بدیم، نقد بکنیم. نقد منظور اینه که فکرامونو بگیم، میدونید، و ایشون بتونه ایده بگیره، ایشون بتونه اطلاعات بگیره، ایشون بتونه میدونید آگاهی بیشتری پیدا بکنه، چون به هر حال ایشون یک فرده. یعنی پدر ایشون به هر حال شما میدونید سازمان برنامه، نمیدونم سوای خودش سازمان در رتبه 2 ارتش غیره، علاوه امنیتی، اطلاعاتی، دانش، اینها در واقع با خودش را با خیلی هم صحبت کردیم. امثال علم، نمیدونم علا، انتظام ها، اینها آدمای فوق العاده بودن. حالا امینی، اینها کسایی بود که ایشون روزانه با اینا صحبت میکرد در نتیجه میخوام بگم تصمیمی که میگیره حاصل برآیند در واقع آگاهی اجتماعی بود، جامعه ایران بود در اون زمان. ایشون تا خب شاهزاده خب به هر حال یک فرد هست، این نهادها رو که نداره، حداقل ما میتونیم بهشون کمک بکنیم که ممکنه جایی رو ندیده باشه بهتر ببینه، ممکنه اطلاعاتی احتیاج داشته باشه بهشون بدیم، ممکنه راههایی در ذهن ما باشه که میتونید که ما بتونیم این راهها رو مدام بگیم. یعنی میخوام بگم نقض نمیکنه شاهزاده رو و تیمشون رو، که اینها با هم کمک میکنن به عنوان یک ملک. درش میخوام بگم که باید این لحظات زنده باشیم. کلا میگم من فرد خاصی خیلی از شما ممکنه من زنده تر باشیم، یعنی منظورم که فعال باشیم، فکر بکنیم، اهمیت بدیم، تا صرف اینکه هم مدام دنبال بکنیم که کجا رو زد، کی چی گفت، فلانی چی گفت، که خوبه، ولی خب به هر حال در کنارش باید ما هم اون سهم خودمون رو اجرا بکنیم دیگه. وگرنه خب میخوام منتظر باشیم که سرباز امریکایی بخوام ما رو نجات بدن رو بعد خودم نکنه باید دارم. قرار نیست که اونها کشته بشن به خاطر اینکه مثلا یه عده‌ای از ایرانی‌ها نخوان مسئله قبول بکنن. حالا من منظور شخص خاصی نیست، کلا میگم خیلی از من مسئولیتشون رو بیشتر اعمال کردن و مسئول پذیرتر بودن، ولی کلیت جامعه هنوز اگر که به اون وضعیت نرسه که اون مسئولیت رو به اون حدی که باید قبول بکنه اگه نکنه خب همین وضع میمونه. احتمالا اگر که امریکا نخواد که نیروی زمینی بیاره، اون بحث دیگه است. من دارم طرف خودمون میگم ممکنه امریکا حملش گسترده‌تر بشه، حمله زمینی بکنه. حالا من چه شنیدم میخواد خارکو بگیره. حتی من مثلا فکر کردم بیاد مثلا کمک بکنه که خوزستان رو مثلا بگیریم و شاهزاده رو اونجا به عنوان نماینده مردم ایران بذاره، برخواد پولهایی که بر اونور دنیا هست برسه به دولتی که شاهزاده تشکیل میده. میدونید برخواد یک منطقه رو میتونه امریکا بگیره بده به حالا نماینده های ملت ایران، دولت در تبعید، اون پولها امکانات برسه به دست اینها، سفارتخانه‌ها داده بشه به اینها، چیزایی که باید کار بشه. خیلی میدونید یه چیزی هست که آنگوینگ باید باشه، روش مدام بحث بشه، روش کار بشه. ولی اینا رو من حداقل من که یادم معمولا نمیبینم. اون پشت اتفاقی داره میفته، امیدوارم باشه اینها، ولی به هر حال
John Kitover, and I'm running for mayor of Chicago as your libertarian candidate. Our city deserves leadership that respects your freedom and focuses on safe.
این در واقع نقش ما رو، سهم ما رو در واقع میدونید نفی نمی‌کنه. خیلی عرضه ببخشید.
بله جناب آقای من در پاسخ بهشون گفتم ببینید وقتی که جریانات تغییر داره انجام میشه دو تا حالت به وجود میاد. تغییر به قول آمریکایی بعضی موقع اینویتابل تغییر داره به وجود میاد. منتها موضوع اینه که یک ملتی میان سرنوشت خودشون رقم میزنن یا میذارن یک کسی دیگه سرنوشتشون رو رقم بزنه. سرنوشت رقم زده خواهد شد. شما دارین میگین که چرا سرنوشتشون ما خودمون رقم نمیزنیم در حالی که این تغییرات داره به وجود میاد. سوال خیلی درستیه، ولی اینکه مثلا تو کلاب هاوس یه بحثی بشه اینا که راه حل کلان نیست. شما باید نگاه بکنید که برای یک تغییر کلان راه حل سیاسی اون چیه. راه حل سیاسی مسلمه که مثلا سوشال میدیا یه ابزاره که این ابزار میتونه مثلا فراهم بکنه ولی ابزار هدف نیست، ابجکتیوی نیستش که مثلا در سوشال میدیا ما یه مصر مطرح کنیم. اون خودش یه ابزاره. پس بنابراین اون چیزی که هدف سیاسیه که این هدف سیاسی نیازمند سازوکار سیاسی. تا موقعی که سازوکار سیاسی نباشه این چیزی که شما میخوان نه در درون کلاب هاوس میسره نه در درون اسپیس‌های توییتری، اینجا جاهایی که ما ارتباط اندیشه داریم از درون اون تولید که نمیشه. اونم تولید در حد یک کشور در حد یک آلترناتیوی در برابر جمهوری اسلامی. پس بنابراین سوال شما به جاست، ولی اینکه شما مثلا از خودم و خودت انتظار داری که کار بکنی، این یه مقدار برای به جاست. این باید در موقعیت دیگر باشه، موقعیت افرادی که سیاسی هستن، دستشون بازه، پشتوانه دارن و اونها بتونن با ایجاد ساختارهای سیاسی در واقع یک روشمندی رو به کار ببرن که نقشه راه تغییر رو اونها برای ما روشن میکنن و ما در اون نقشه عملیات داشته باشیم. اگر این به وجود نیاد، خارجی ها تغییرات رو بنابر منطقی خودشون انجام میدن و ما هم فقط میشیم مخلوق. امیدوارم که پاسخ داده.
کورشان نظرت خوبه. من خیلی سعی میکنم که بفهمم، این بازش بکنم برای خودم. این یه بحثم رو داشت مثلا خیلی وقت پیش من اونجا عرض کردم خدمتتون، شما راجع به روشنفکرها صحبت میکردید که حالا نقشی داشتن در خودم قضا و اینا. من عرض کردم که ما نمیتونیم یک مجموعه رو داریم بحث میکنیم، سیستم رو بحث میکنیم، یک جزئی از سیستم رو بیرون بکشیم و فارغ از بفهمیم در نتیجه این که یه عده آدم دیگه خودشون کار رو بکنن. من اون هستن قراره که باشم کیر میکنه، دنبال میکنه، اهمیت میده، سعی میکنه که راه حل بده، سعی میکنه که نقد بکنه، سعی میکنه که باز بکنه مسائل رو. میدونید مستقل هست، امپراتوری هست، حالا سرسل
Hello? Linda? Hello? Hello?
که قبل از اسلام کار میکرده این سیستم.
It can be pretty difficult to evict tenants. Yeah, you could put yourself in a bad position as a landlord. And
as a landlord,
honestly,
I want to hear more about this, but not even as a landlord, even as a person who owns a house. My uncle, oh my God, this is a true story. So my uncle is like, he's a little crazy though. Well, I'm saying that, but he's like super right, super freedom. Like he loves guns. He's always been really, really big into guns, right? Well, he started dating this girl, and she was Hispanic. She was crazy. And anyway, how it happened was she was just like, oh, he's like, why don't you could come move in. So she moved in, and then she just like, oh, do you know what? My daughter needs a place to stay. And then and a half, yeah. And he's just like, all right, okay. But she didn't tell him that the daughter just had a daughter. So the daughter has like a 2-year-old kid. So now it's the girlfriend. Like this all happened really fast. And then he had it when she was just like, oh yeah, the boyfriend needs a place too. It was almost like it was planned out. Long story longer, he was just like, listen, everybody out, everybody get out. And she was like, you can't kick us out because we've been here for blah, blah, blah. So they called the cops. She was just like, oh, he threatened me, blah, 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 blah. You know, he couldn't go back into his own house. She was able to get a restraining order on him, and he couldn't go into his own house for like 30 days or something like that. It was something like crazy. And I was like, oh my God, that is nuts.
That's just one example amongst many, but it can absolutely be a nightmare scenario. So I'm in Georgia now, and I had a tenant, older guy. He's harmless, but pain in the ass, but harmless. Anyway, he had invited some chick in his crib, I guess, have a good time with. And I don't allow pets on my property. Of course, she came with a dog. Anyway, this next door neighbor, another tenant of mine, had locked herself out. So she called me. I came to unlock the door for her. And while I was there, he mentions to me the situation where this woman will not leave his apartment. I'm irate at this point, but I go and I attempt to talk to her, and she's just nasty human being. And so, all right, cool. End up calling 911. 911 operator informs me they had already been out to the house and there was nothing they could do. So I insisted that they send a cop out. So of course they sent the same cop that came previously, and he had already made up his mind how he was going to handle the situation. So he's like, "There's nothing you can do. It's a tenant landlord situation." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, I don't know this woman. I've never seen her in my life. I don't even have a lease for her. Like, this doesn't make any sense. So I asked for a supervisor. He calls out this next officer. The next officer, they whispered whatever they whispered, and they're keeping the company line. And I'm like, yo, is this your supervisor? He's a more experienced cop. I said, respectfully, I asked for a supervisor. So it's all right, fine. So, I waited like another half an hour. And, older gentleman with, like accoutrements on his friggin' uniform, super friendly, just completely different, not surly, no attitude, extends his hand, he listens, and he proceeds to call the on-duty district attorney. By this point, it's like 7:30, and they have, a hotline for the district attorney. And he puts the district attorney on speakerphone and goes through the scenario with him. The district attorney, I literally heard him say, because he was on speakerphone, said, "Get her the fuck out of that apartment." That's literally what he said. And, he told the other two officers who were still on scene to, you heard him, get out. And that was the worst part of the whole thing to me. It's one thing if you just don't want to do your job because you're unsure. But you've been given a directive by your supervising officer who, was explained the legal situation by the DA. And you have this whole nasty attitude about doing your job. It was like, they pissed me off beyond pissed off, but ultimately, obviously, she left. Now, had that been New York, I think it would have played out very differently. Very, very differently. And, I understand why a lot of people don't want to live in New York. They don't want to invest in New York. There's, an older gentleman who you can clearly see this guy pulled out a knife on him at an ATM, and the guy shot him. And he it was self-defense, but they insisted that he go and serve time in jail for the gun charge, because in New York you can't not serve time for a gun charge. I really was hoping he had gotten a stay and this thing went to the Supreme Court. I was really hoping this would be the case to overturn New York's gun laws, because it's such unmitigated bullshit.
Yeah, definitely. Anthony, where are you? Which state are you in?
Georgia, man.
I see. Yeah, New York is stupid. Just they have grown to the extent that not knowing what's right, what's wrong.
You remember Plaxico Burress, the wide receiver that played for the Giants?
He had a horrible situation. He only shot himself. He shot himself. The only person he shot, and he ended up having to go to jail.
Yeah. I think they're waiting for the right gun case to challenge in New York, because I was wondering, why has this not been challenged to the Supreme Court? Why they have these strict gun laws? And I think it's something to do with waiting for the right case, the right type. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, they are so. Okay, so my brother, he was in a relationship with this crazy Russian girl. She was like the hottest. She was so hot though. I'll even admit it. She was fine. I will give you I'm gonna PTR this bitch, okay? Because this bitch is still obsessed with my brother, okay? And but anyway, crazy Russian, and she was constantly calling the cops, and I was just like, no, honey. I was like, listen, we don't do that in my family, Liz. We do not. You do not call cops. I mean, like, this is me. I'm not, saying anything, but I was like, no, we don't do that. But it was only after the first. My brother called me, and he's like, hey, I'm getting arrested. And I'm like, what do you mean you're getting arrested? And he's just like, I got in a fight and I broke her oven. I broke the oven, and she called the cops. Together, by the way. She called the cops. The cops get out there, and they were like, we're going to process this as domestic violence. And she's just like, no, I don't want to process this as domestic violence. He ended up recording like stuff that he didn't show it. He still had it. He had a black eye, right? And she was just like, I don't want to press charges. And the cops were just like, it doesn't matter. We got called out here. Something has to happen. You get charges because you called us and you involved us. So now you're taking the resources out here, and this is documented. So, and he had to go through like all of this crap to get these. He had to get like this lawyer and pay like, I don't know, it was like $15,000 to get this stupid. I mean, they didn't want it. They just wanted to leave. But
years in the deep dish kitchen taught me what Chicago really was. Hard work, patience, and a lot of tomato sauce.
She later, so she still loves my brother, so she stalks my brother, okay? And my sister, she goes to get her taxes done by my sister. So my sister was just like, she was getting her taxes done, and this cop there was like, oh, she's pretty, whatever. And so anyway, my sister hooks them up, okay? The cop comes back to my sister like, did you hook me up? It's crazy. She's just like, why? What happened? And she's just like, we went on a couple dates. The dates were good. I decided I wanted to, start to learn more about her when she's under the influence, because she doesn't, she wouldn't drink out. So we decided to stay in and drink. And so she ended up drinking. It's always alcohol, boy. She started to drink, and so all of a sudden she comes out and she's just like, you took my lighter. And he's
Hello,
like,
I'm John Kitover. I'm running for mayor because our city deserves leadership that listens. We can make our
and she
neighborhood
started
safer.
freaking
Keep
out. And he's
taxes
like, I
fair
didn't
and
take
bring
your
good.
lighter. So he gets up and he's like looking around for her lighter. He finds her lighter in the bathroom. And she goes, and he's just like, here's your lighter. You left it on the bathroom. She slapped him in the face. He was a
Keep
cop.
taxes fair.
She slapped him in the face. He left. And he
Hi,
told my
Chicago.
sister,
I'm John
that
Kitover.
bitch
I'm running
is
for mayor
crazy.
February 23rd,
Yeah, she's
2027.
crazy. You want to see what she looks like?
Democrats,
She
Republicans,
says, I'm
Libertarians,
gonna show
you all
you.
have.
Your sister left because she can do better. It's a great thing.
No, that wasn't my sister. This was a crazy girlfriend my brother was dating. But
well, she can do better anyway.
Here, I want to show you how hot she was.
Yeah, I want to see how.
By the way, no matter how she looks, there's always a reason why she's still single. It's just a true fact of life.
It's what's on the inside that counts.
100%.
Unless you're a skudunkunk and you're an awful, horrible, terrible person. If you're violent, though, sometimes you just can't really look past that, because when a chick drinks, if she gets violent, you know, and you see cop videos. You see cop videos all the time. Women in prison or men in prison, and they're talking about domestic violence. And the women who punch the guy and get liquored up, and the guy, you know, doesn't want to punch back because he doesn't want to, you know, catch a charge, but he's being attacked. And we have a lot of hyper aggressive women in society who don't know how to do meditation, don't know how to do yoga, don't know how to relax, read a book, de-escalate, and they're just basically royalty, aka queens, who, you know, think their shit don't stink. But you know, I've never been in a relationship with a woman who got violent. I would definitely, you know, get out of that situation. I mean, that is not something I could tolerate in my life.
Strength is so true. One time I had an ex-mistress that she was so like aggressive. One day we were having a party and my sister was there. My sister, to me, she's the best. She's just fantastic. Like, she's just the best, you know. And we were eating lunch, you know. And my sister was like to her, oh, you know, I don't agree with you. And she threw a fucking bottle at her. And I was like, we're done. I'm done. Get the fuck out of here. You're done in my entire life. Because, you know, as men, I'm sure you have sisters, but if you have a great sister, they're just unbelievable, you know? When you have an amazing sister, and this bitch was like assaulting my sister, and I was like, you know what? If we just leave, I will try to convince my sister not to press charges against you. You know what my sister told me? Fuck that bitch. I'm gonna throw the book at her. And she did. Because she's the way she is, you know what I mean? But you have great women. When you have great women, your life is just better. Good people, you know? It's just fantastic.
So I was.
As far as the title of the room goes, I think that obviously there would be exceptions to whether or not it was the right choice. If it led to World War III and there was a nuclear war, then the answer would be obvious. Hold on, let me see. Let's put this.
PTR gentlemen, I need a scale
Wow,
of what?
Wow. You weren't lying, man.
She was like Eric Trump's wife, Laura Trump.
You were not lying, man.
Yeah, she's 1 to 10.
You were not lying. Your brother could work that out, yeah.
He tried for a while, and then finally he realized, like, yeah, no.
Your brother could have worked that.
No, Anthony, he got a new girl, okay? She just got her PhD, and she is, I wouldn't say okay, I won't tell him this, but if she's like a 10, I think his girl now with a PhD, she's like a 9. Like, very, very close. Like, very close. But she was, yeah.
Nah, PhD doesn't do anything for a woman.
The PhD doesn't fucking matter. Nobody cares about
In
PhD.
mathematics.
The PhD doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Here's what's up. The PhD does help. The PhD confirms a certain level of academic rigor, and it implies, strongly correlates with high intelligence. And if you're going to consider her as a long-term mate, someone to be the mother of your children, those traits could bode well for your children, your progeny.
That's true. Yeah, if it's in mathematics, that's true.
But back to the room, I 100% agree with Trump's decision to do what he did. And I'm tired of feckless, scared people,
March 7th.
Finding every excuse under the sun to criticize his decision. It's their right as American citizens to criticize it, but, they just exposed themselves weak and scared of their own shadows. And, what about the terrorist cells and, what's going to happen? And it's just nonsense, man. Right now, we have a world of possibilities. Could things go wrong? Sure, they could. But I'm happy he made the choice that he did.
You're happy that Trump made the choice to go to Iran, you mean?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Somebody said today to me, Samoa, I don't know if you guys know who Samoa is. I'll just call him out. He was just like, Bima, you're so uninformed, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, yeah, there's a possibility. Like, I could be uninformed. I think that's what I admit is my greatest insecurity. Because, I'm not given sufficient evidence for me to feel like it's a good decision or not. He was just like, even despite, he's like, your hate for Israel, which I don't have any hate for the people, but the country that's true. I'm very frustrated with I'm going to call it a regime over there, okay? He's just like, you're blinded by that, and you have a bias, and you've had many Iranians tell you, giving you all of this evidence, and despite it, you still don't think it was a good idea. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what? And I was like, now let me think. What have Iranians told me? And it's the same exact things that I've heard over and over and over. And these are the things. One, they tell me the regime is horrible, and they chant death to America, and they want you all dead. Okay, that's 1. 2, they kill their people by the tens of thousands. Okay? And 3, they were, what is the third? I don't know, but there was another one, right? And I was thinking to myself, that's the same thing that Trump said when he freaking went out of the JCPOA, or whatever it was called, the treaty with Iran. All of that was in there. They're developing ballistic missiles. They're enriching their uranium. They shout death to America. They kill those. There's nothing new that I haven't heard that Trump hasn't said. And I was just like, that's so funny. So no, I'm not given any evidence. So what's my point, Bima? What the fuck is my point with my loud mouth? My point is, how much of what we're being told is the actual truth versus programming? Oh, John Kitover would love this. neuro-linguistic programming from just people copying and reiterating what they've heard from somebody else. Like epistemic. Oh no, that's okay. And then the last thing I'll say is, what do you require for evidence to know when something is objectively true or not? And that's where I'm at right now. Thank you, Anthony.
All right. So this idea of objective truth, good luck with that standard. If that's your standard, Bima, God bless you. All right. We are constantly being spun. Everything's propaganda, and we're constantly being spun. All right. That's objective truth be damned. Good luck. Now, as it relates to whether or not specific things are lies, like this really makes me scratch my head. Let's go back to when the United States went to war with Iraq. The claim was that they had weapons of mass destruction, or they had, whatever, chemical weapons, whatever the claim was, right? How difficult would it have been for, like, the alphabet boys, CIA, NSA, whoever, to have an operative plant that stuff in Iraq and say, hey, we found it, we told you, as opposed to acknowledging, hey, we never found it. How difficult would it be for, if this is all about lies, right? In the age of artificial intelligence, how difficult would it be for operatives between Israel and the United States to plant fake evidence on Iran? If it's all about lying to the American people.
That would be impossible when it comes to nuclear material, because every nuclear material can be traced. So if they did that, if they did bring it in the country, they could trace the particles.
As it relates to the nuclear material, there is, like, uncontested evidence that Iran had a certain amount of nuclear material that had been lost track of after the 12-day war. No one knew where it was. And it was enriched uranium to the point where it could be weaponized. Ideally, they would have enriched it even more. I think it was at 60-something%. They wanted to get it to 80-something%, but 60-something% would have been the threshold. They also had ballistic missiles. So the potential for them to create some kind of dirty type bomb was already there. It was there.